Hello again. We are starting the second tribal council of the merged blue game tribe. And here come the players filing into tribal council. We've got Casey wearing that immunity necklace around his neck, Connor, Mel, Andy, Anthony, Francis, Joe, Caitlin, and Ethan.
One quick little housekeeping thing before we begin. We do finally actually have a lit torch, so yeah, yay! Sam here. Yeah, major props to Sam as he's been working on that all day. It's been really wet and really awkward stuff when there's no flame. So whoever does unfortunately get voted out, please grab the one with the flame. So we're gonna have to be make believe anymore. Okay, let's get into it. Taking a drink right now, but Caitlin, it would be a travesty to not bring up your very, very impressive idol play last tribal council. Do you think that? Walk me through that decision-making process. Did you know you were gonna play it, or were you unsure if you should hold on to it or not?
It's pretty public knowledge that I found it at tribal council. So, I mean, it wasn't like a long-term decision. It was like, okay, I got to play this. Like, I don't feel safe.
Did you know that you would be getting votes at that tribal council?
I knew I was definitely getting votes. I didn't know how many. Didn't expect it to be everybody I'm sitting with here except for my brother. And Louie. Louie did that too. But, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, like you said, I mean, only 2 people got votes. You cannot vote for yourself, obviously. You voted for Louie. Why Louie then?
Because that is the name that was being told that that's what I needed to do to stay around.
Okay. Who was telling you that?
People, I don't want to.
That's fine. I'm gonna shift then over to Connor. Connor, how does it feel to be playing the game without your loved one, or just, open forum to whatever you want to say to that?
We both can't win, so it was never gonna be an end-all game with the 2 of us, unfortunately. But obviously, we didn't want him to go home. But it was props to Caitlin on a great idol play. So I obviously would love to know who these people are.
I would too.
So that's mysterious, right? Great question, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Does this change your game plan moving forward? Like,
It's
was
gotta.
you working into it a lot, or what's your kind of general plan or vibe now?
I think every loved one pair here is working with their loved one. And I was the same way. I'm not going to beat around the bullet. So, of course, it changes my game. But hoping to find cracks within the loved ones, I guess, and see if we can go from there. Like I said, not everyone can go to the end with their loved one. So,
Francis, is there beginning to be talk about potential loved ones versus individuals now that it's starting to even out a little bit?
Yes,
Would you like to expand on that?
that's exactly what's being talked about.
Okay.
There's lots of rumors going around about who's saying what and who's working with who based on whether they're still a loved one or they're single. So, I mean, I don't know, pick a rumor. Any rumor is probably
So obviously the individuals are still outweighed by the pairs then.
Absolutely.
If that is in conversation as an individual, what is the individual's ploy to somehow break up the couples?
I don't think you have to necessarily look at it that way. No offense, I love these guys, but I'm also like, I love everyone here. So this has been, I don't know. I'm not looking at it like that.
Okay. Casey, congratulations on your immunity win. I know a lot of this game can be really intense social strategy talk, but talk to me a little about just about the experience, because you walked up to that challenge and you were so excited. Before we went live, you were like, Brandon, you have to tell me how to make it. You could tell, like, the excitement was oozing out of you. What did it mean to you to get to play that and win that challenge?
I mean, it's no secret to this group that Survivor is a huge deal in my life. I mean, it's been my dream for 23 years now. I started watching it when I was 7 years old. And to be able to win an immunity, especially on a challenge that I've watched in multiple seasons, and since the first time they put it up there, I was like, wow, I really want to do that challenge. That looks like so much fun. And as someone who, like, dreamed of being, like, literally dreamed of being on the CBS version of the show, once I started learning about these live reality games out there, I realized, like, I don't have to beat out 10,000 people to get to play these games and fulfill my dream. I can just apply to any games around the country and I'll probably get one. And I was lucky enough to get in this one, and I just feel really blessed to be here and blessed to be able to play a challenge that I've dreamt of. And I mean, the only way I know how to describe it is right now, it just feels like a dream come true.
Anthony, you mentioned Vice Tribal Council. You know, it was your first one being vulnerable. You were a little nervous. Now that you got one out of the way, are you kind of like a little bit more calm, cool, and collected, or are you nervous again?
No, I'm still very nervous. I mean, we all have to bring our belongings here, but you know, as a first-time player, it's just constant nervousness. The stress has definitely gone up since the merge, so we'll see what happens.
Ethan, obviously you did not get a vote at the Past Tribal Council, but what did it feel like to sit there and watch this circuit vote after vote after vote?
I mean, it's heartbreaking. Like, you want to play this game with your loved one, and you think you possibly have plans with people, and they just don't follow through on those plans, and you think that that's the end of your journey here. And then if like an idol is played for that person, then you kind of just feel lost, and you try to go to whoever you can to just like stay in the game.
Caitlin did not have the only idol play of the Tribal Council. Mel, you also played an idol as well. Is there any concern that now that you played it, they might think you don't have one anymore and that it could be you tonight?
Well, I hope everyone knew that I had that idol, so I feel like it made me a target. I had found the clue for that idol and shared it with the whole group, so everybody knew exactly where to be looking for it. And then I didn't sign up for we had thought that it would be hidden at a puzzle thing, and I didn't sign up to do the puzzle, and then no one found it, so I like went back and like got it anyway. But I feel like I was not trying to like have this like known idol to deal with. So once it was, you know, people started whispering to me like, oh, like there's, you know, people are talking about flushing the idol. I'm like, you want to flush the idol? Take the idol, all right? So if they want to vote for me, they're going to vote for me. But hopefully my, you know, my alliances are keeping me safe as well.
Andy, unfortunately in that last challenge you didn't get set quite in time and you didn't get to participate, but we saw you off to the side participating just for the fun of it. Talk to me about how this experience has been for you and just how you are really soaking in the opportunity of it all.
Well, it's fun, except for when you have to do this. But other than that, I'm enjoying the camaraderie, making new friends, and talking to people of different generations than me. You know, they have different music interests and things like that. It's been a blast, and I'm interested in those challenges and try to do them, but I have never done any of them before, so it's all new to me. And I mean, I liked it. I got the hang of it.
You did. Did you ever imagine that when you set out on this experience that you would get this far, or did you have confidence in yourself that you would do well?
I did not have confidence.
Have you been gaining it though as you've been going along?
Yeah, I've been lucky. Nice people, and I'm trying, and the challenges, even though something like that. Oh well. Yeah.
And then Joe, I don't think we've gotten around to you.
much of the game you are playing moment by moment versus how much are you kind of looking ahead and trying to make plans for the future?
I feel like I'm playing more moment by moment right now. I think we thought we'd get a little bit more time in the last round, and then it was like challenge, and we were back down here. So it's been a little bit of a scramble. So it's just, I'm basically just trying to make sure I'm on the right side of the numbers and that it's not me.
Are you as nervous as your brother is, or are you feeling a little bit more confident?
I'm nervous. My name was out there a little bit today, I heard. So I'm just hoping that the connections that I've made and the relationships that I've made will help carry me forward.
Okay. Anyone have anything else? All right. With that, it is time to vote. Okay.
All right, so we will head out of the... We will walk out of the tribal council area and chat about what we've just heard. So, yeah, let me grab the notebook that I had. And, sorry, it got moved. And we will head on over and have a little talk. Because we have quite a bit to talk about between the results and end of the last tribal council and then the start of this one. So we're actually gonna, as soon as we get up the hill and far enough away, we're probably gonna end up rewinding a little bit. Let's see. I am trying to figure out where to go because now there's a bunch of cars parked in the background, which is not cute. We'll just settle in between this dumpster and this camper. And it'll look super naturey, and I'll try not to fall. Okay, so let's, instead of talking about this one, we gotta rewind. We gotta go back to the, in my opinion, very shocking end of the last tribal council, where we saw Caitlin play an idol literally out of nowhere to save herself. So Caitlin in this tribal council saying that it was no secret that she found it at tribal council, but it was a secret to all of us until she played it. So backstory on that, apparently underneath the voting booth that all of the players go off and vote to, there was a trap door, and inside that trap door was an idol. Now, normally, you know, in Survivor, you get clues and you know, or hints or just something to kind of indicate the location of where an idol might be. Well, not with this one. So it is there in both games, but no one had any idea it was there. So this was quite literally Caitlin's like going for broke, last ditch effort to try and save herself. She, it's so wild. I literally like looked over at one point as cause you know, I like look over to see like how many people are left voting so that I know when to bring us back on over to tribal council. And I saw Caitlin on the ground near the voting booth, and I literally just thought she had dropped her like pen that she, or like her Sharpie that she was using to write the name. And I was like, oh, and like kept on going. Little did I know she was like on her hands and knees crawling all around the voting area just in a desperate attempt to try and find anything that would save her, and lo and behold, she found that damn idol. So that was pretty crazy. It was a cursed idol, which meant that if she played it incorrectly, she would lose her vote at this tribal council. Obviously, we saw that it was a near unanimous vote for her, so she did play it right, with Louis going home. And it was kind of interesting. So I know I had briefly touched last round when we chatted about how Louis was kind of someone that was also identified as a in-game threat along with Caitlin, and how his name had kind of been thrown out there, but it didn't seem like the right time for people to make their move. So it was interesting to me that Caitlin voted for him, and so in my mind I kind of was like, okay, was she just, you know, like I didn't know exactly why. I was like, damn, like if you're gonna kind of do that, maybe take out a big threat. But she clarified for us in there that that was kind of the name that she needed to throw out to save herself. So it sounds like perhaps there was some sort of group thing in the works, and she was hoping, well, you know, hopefully if it's not me and it actually is Louie, that'll show that I'm with these people voting. And even just now in tribal council, we saw that she was not willing to give up the name or names of the people that were feeding her information. So I think she's clinging to the hope here that she can trust them and rely on them and that it will not be her. So let's see. Oh, okay. So I have some other information to share with you because it sounds like, because we haven't even really gotten to this tribal because we've been so focused on last tribal, which I feel was important. God, I'm like either hitting dumpster or trailer and it's sad. Okay, so for this round, which I am calling Blurge for the Blue Merge, because I don't think they have a tribe name yet. We're seeing Mel and Andy emerge as this like belle of the ball duo. It seems like everyone is kind of vying for them to be aligned with them. Because they're like a duo, they're just, you know, belle of the ball, I suppose. And so there is a potential alliance forming with Mel, Andy, and then the singles. So Casey, Francis, and Connor. So Casey, Francis, and Connor approached Mel and Andy about this possible fivesome, which might end up becoming a thing. I know, let's see, so they would potentially be targeting Caitlyn. Of course, Caitlyn got the majority of the votes last round, so that would not be a huge shock, I think, for any of us. However, Andy has said that she doesn't really want to vote Caitlyn. She actually felt super bad about writing Caitlyn's name down last tribal, and apparently ended up apologizing to Caitlyn for writing her name down. And so as a result, I don't think she's willing to vote for Caitlyn again. However, let's wait for that to pass. Mel, her daughter, is perfectly fine, I think, voting for Caitlyn, and so it'll be interesting to kind of see, with Mel being the more dominant, kind of survivor personality and fan, and kind of more the the more opinionated of the two as far as strategy and kind of what to do and what seems wise. It'll be interesting to see if the vote goes that way, if Andy is on board or if Andy does her own thing separate from Mel. I know that Caitlyn and Ethan potentially also pitched an alliance to Mel and Andy of kind of an all duos alliance to try and save the duos, but I don't know that Mel and Andy were super buying into it. And then another possibility, as Joe alluded to in that tribal council, he had heard his name as well. And so that is because it looks like potentially Caitlyn, Ethan, and Francis, who, remember, were allied with Joe on their very first tribe of Ossipee, they are kind of feeling like, hey, you're kind of flip-flopping here, you're not with us, you voted against Caitlyn. And so I think they are maybe potentially trying to flip the vote away from Caitlyn and on to Joe. However, Ethan, Caitlyn's brother, is apparently making a lot of waves and working super, super hard to try and save his sister Caitlyn. And as a result, he's now super worried and paranoid that it might have come back to bite him. And he's worried that now it might be him instead of Caitlyn because he's been working so hard to save Caitlyn. So, the duality of that. I know earlier, I think it was Francis talked about how, was it Francis? I think it might have been Francis, was talking about how in this game of Blood versus Water, everything you do also reflects on your partner. And so this is one of those things where everything that, Caitlyn is doing and Ethan are doing might reflect on each other or might just reflect on themselves. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I swear I had a point that made more sense, but I lost it. Let's see. Yeah, let me check my notebook. Sorry, Louis just walked by. He's heading on down to check out Tribal Council, so I got distracted. Yeah. As far as powers or idols are concerned, I don't think there are any more. And actually, speaking of that, so Mel was asked if she regretted the idol play, and I know in the Tribal Council she was like, oh no, it was kind of making me a target, everyone knew, and so I just like played it. But in her confessional, she confirmed that that's actually how she felt. She was glad that she played it because she did not know where Caitlin's vote would be going once Caitlin played that idol last round, and so she was like, I just want to make sure that it wasn't gonna be me. So obviously here, let me just, maybe if I turn this way, you can see all the cars. Sorry, I'm trying to get y'all a cute background, but I guess that works kind of. So she was obviously like, yeah, I mean, I wish I still had it, but she ultimately did not regret playing it because she would have hated to have gone out with an idol in her pocket. So yeah, so now, I mean, there's nothing I personally know about, but as we saw last round, that means nothing because there was something. Yeah, let's see. Oh, and again, just to kind of update you guys on, oh, I usually do that after. I was going to say, like, just to update you on the game progress. After this, there's going to be one more challenge in Tribal, and then one more challenge, and then we're done for the day. So a bit more action left. We are not totally done. But we're going to go ahead and head on back to the Tribal Council area because I see that Casey is heading over to the voting booth and he has last vote. Here's Louis, voted out at Last Blue Tribal Council, who has showered and is back to watch all the action. So, yeah, we are heading back over. We are pausing because I dropped my pen and we don't litter. All right, and back into the Tribal Council area we go. Players just waiting on Casey to return from voting. Thank you, Melissa. The shirts are really cool. Thank you, Connor, for modeling. Thanks to all of you for modeling. All right, Kelsey is off to tally the votes now that Casey has returned. Players silently and patiently waiting for Kelsey to return to reveal the vote. Our one fiery torch just doing the most in the background over there. Very excited about it. It's been an all-day task. Getting a request for a look at a buff. Connor, I see you're wearing yours around your neck. Will you just hold it out since you were so kind earlier? Perfect, thank you. All right, and here are the buffs. Thank you. Oh, thank you. And Andy's showing the other buff from Ossipee.
If anyone has an idol or an advantage and you'd like to play that, now would be the time to do so.
I will read the votes.
First up, Caitlin. Second vote, Joe. One vote, Caitlin. One vote, Joe. Caitlin. Two votes, Caitlin. One vote, Joe. Joe. It's two votes, Caitlin. Two votes, Joe. Ethan. That's two votes, Caitlin. Two votes, Joe. One vote, Ethan. Caitlin. That's three votes, Caitlin. Two votes, Joe. One vote, Ethan. Caitlin. That's four votes, Caitlin. Two votes, Joe. One vote, Ethan. And with that, the next person voted out, and the first member of our jury, Caitlin.
Also, I'm very nice. I gave you guys a plan, so I hope you enjoyed it. Caitlin.
We'll try this
Yeah! All right, Caitlin, we are on live stream and we'll head back this way so that we can get your thoughts. We'll just move a little bit farther away. Nope.
Oh my gosh, I really see myself as one jury. Wow.
Yeah. All right, we're just making our way up here so that you can talk freely without the other players staring you. All right, let's maybe hang out right here, if you don't mind. Just, you can drop your stuff if you would like and get as comfortable as you can standing there about barefoot. All right, so Caitlin, this is your time. Thoughts, feelings, anything you want to share with us?
You know, I guess it's pretty special to feel like everybody's obsessed with me all the time. So that's nice. I think they're not wrong. I think well, I mean, I don't think I can do this strategically, but I feel like I would approach them. I think it's gonna probably like blue at the end, like a light blue.
Okay. Obviously, you have a lot to be proud of. You made it all the way to the jury, and as you said, you literally saved yourself last round so that you did end up on the jury. What else are you proud of from your time out here?
I'm proud that I got medevaced.
Yeah, we love that.
I'm proud that I touched the bug. But I'm most proud of my brother.
Awesome. And you got to experience a lot of this game, of course, making it all the way to near the end of day 3. So what is something that you learned about yourself while you were out here?
A baddie.
What a lovely lesson. Amazing. Well, before we let you go, you and your brother are both playing for an incredible cause, so this is your chance to shout them out. Let us know who you were playing for and why.
We're playing for GLAAD, just to keep the LGBTQ plus community accurately represented in the media. I think there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and that's where most people get their resources. So they're a great organization just to keep people up to date and well informed in an accurate way.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We will let you go so that you can head on over to Ponderosa. And again, congratulations on being the first member of our jury. All right, and with that, history repeats itself. Caitlin was one of our season 1 players, and she was also the first member of the jury in that game. So she is the first juror queen of Can You Survive? And she's an excellent first juror, as you can see. She has a fabulous outlook, and I think she'll be really great as first juror. That, of course, always sets the tone for the jury. So you want someone like her to be first juror. So, and kind of be like, you know, president of Ponderosa. So with that, we'll let you go. And again, we have one more challenge, one more tribal after that, and then just one more challenge beyond that, and then we will be ending our day. So keep it locked here. We will see you in a little bit.